and we have you something a little bit different and a little bit spicy.
Oh yeah, be a little bit of a disservice, I should say, if neither of these two players got casted. But we are going to be diving straight into Cosmic Sapphire. We're in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We have the red Protoss player, the Capital himself, representing the Netherlands and Shopify Rebellion. He is Harstem.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire ESL, we have the Oceania and rest of Asia representative, the champion himself, going for a pool first opener. Hailing from the land of Vietnam, representing the Juggernauts, it is MeomaikA.
The Maru Slayer.
Yes, the Maru Slayer himself. He did 2-0 Maru at LAN at WESG many years ago, and we'll see if he can do something as spectacular again, as he's here in an international event for the first time in a long time.
A very, very long time. Not since, I want to say, WCS 2016 or something like that.
Yeah, I think that was when he actually flew to Australia for WCS Challenger. But yes, it's been a long time since MeomaikA's been able to travel, and it's great to see him here internationally in Valencia, and we'll see what he can do, because again, if you're familiar with the Oceanic region, and if you're familiar with the Cranky Ducklings, and you know all about MeomaikA, but he is the craziest player in the world. Haas ain't got nothing on MeomaikA, mate.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if after this series, Harstem's gonna have a little bit of a special series of videos on his channel prepared.
Yeah.
Special kind of analysis.
I would love that, mate. I would love that. But we'll see how things go here. So far, again, MeomaikA did go for a pool first, but again, this is just hashtag MeomaikA things. He goes for a pool first in this matchup, not to make lings, only for an earlier queen. And if he is being cheesed, if he is being cannon rushed, then he has access to lings if he needs them.
What is wrong with me, Light, if I'm looking at this probe and I'm thinking, Harstem, you can throw down a proxy nexus?
He could. Meanwhile, 4 late. What's wrong with you? I mean,
it's late.
It's large enough. You can do something with that. Meanwhile, the 4 lings, there were only 4, not 6. They go across the map. I mean, the wall is a wall. Again, bearing in mind that in this new map pool, this ramp is quite narrow, so it's kind of hard to really find too much surface area on things. So lings, they don't do too much damage at all. They just come back home.
Yeah, gotta secure a little bit of map control for the time being, and with that, MeomaikA is gonna get his third base, no big deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Not much of an issue.
Yeah, he will get it up and running, and we'll see what kind of MeomaikA we're gonna get here. Again, when we say MeomaikA is a crazy kind of player, he isn't necessarily cheesy, he just has a different outlook on life.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah, like an example of that is that he first spent his first 100 gas on Ling speed, he didn't pull out of gas, and as soon as the probe died, he goes straight into a lair.
This is before any big tech has been thrown down, mind you, and, you know, again, following MeomaikA for a while, I have a bit of an inkling of where this might go. It's not going to be a Baneling Nest, it's not going to be a Roach Warren, but there is a tech structure that you can build, that you can only build as a third player, with a lair, and it's not the one that you're thinking of. It's not a Spire.
MeomaikA loves his Hydra pushes and his Hydra timings in this matchup, and that should be what he's going for, but before that happens, the first Oracle gets across the map, and already 2 drones going down, 3 drones, 4 drones as well. This 4 is a little bit late. There was only 1 queen here to defend, and a lot of damage was done.
This is only a single Oracle, mind you, but at least it will get taken out.
Yeah.
It would have been difficult to see any sort of redeeming factor here if that, for MeomaikA that is, if that Oracle lived, and that is exactly what I was waiting for, Light.
Yes, you called it, we called it. It is going to be that Hydra Den again. MeomaikA loves his Hydra timing attacks, especially with his upgrades as well. He hits really awkward timings, and they can do a lot of damage, but for the time being, Lings do get across the map. They do get a surround on one of those Adepts, do get a kill there, but not going to do too much else. The third base is going to get up and running.
Here's what makes it more exciting though, Light. We're on a brand new map here,
True.
Cosmic Sapphire. We're on a very large map and a very choke point induced, a very choky map as well. So we're gonna have to see just how effective this push can really be for MeomaikA. I mean,
but
he seems successful with it.
Yeah, but this is unfortunate, mate. MeomaikA was cutting corners. He did not get a third spore at his third base, and just like that, every single drone goes down. The Hydrogen has been scouted, and this is devastating damage that was just dealt.
Yeah. I would love to have some kind of a webcam here to just see the expression of either of our players right now, figuring out what's going on. But yeah, now the ball is very heavily in Harstem's court. Again, he's gotten himself a very massive lead here by killing all of those drones, and now he also has a lot of time to prepare. Again, it's a very large map, and MeomaikA is even spending some time trying to clear up the debris in the middle of the map. These oracles are running out of energy, but they still get another drone.
Yeah, they get another drone. They get a tag on the army as well. MeomaikA's going to be working through these rocks. Interesting choice, by the way. The other interesting thing about MeomaikA is that, again, he doesn't spread creep. He relies on overlords to spread creep instead, and he is connecting his own bases. He's going across the map. But again, Harstem sees this, and he's responding with charge lots.
It's exactly what you want here against Hydras and Lings. You have nothing, you have no Banelings here to really worry about. You know, Chargeless can just throw their entire weight and slam right into those Hydras.
Yeah, exactly, and there just aren't that many Hydras here. I don't really know what MeomaikA can really accomplish. I mean, to be fair, this is the timing before charge finishes, but we have an overcharge, we have a shield battery. There is that overcharge, and MeomaikA has to respect that he will back off.
Yeah, this is a decent position to fight, I suppose, but at the end of the day, MeomaikA, this was a push that was supposed to come out with, that was supposed to be a surprise. This was something that was meant to, you know, kind of confuse Harstem a little bit and hit when he was most unprepared. Harstem, he was vigilant, he was diligent with his scouting, and he is more than prepared to defend against this. And the Oracles are still alive, they're still getting drone damage.
Exactly, more drone damage done at that third base. A lot of lost mining time, and what's important is that MeomaikA is all in. He has not been droning for a long time. He has 41 workers. That's not a lot of workers, to be honest. He's still making nothing but Lings and Hydras. Again, very all in. Can he still make this work? I do think so, but charge is now done.
Yeah, Roost Spines is going to finish up here for MeomaikA, and that definitely helps, but yeah, I don't know if that makes up for the sheer amount of defenses Harstem has been able to make for himself.
Mate, he's got 5 shield batteries at his third. Like, Harstem, he clearly knows who he's playing against, and we do see the shield battery going down here at the natural base. And it looks like MeomaikA's going to try and bust his way through, but the Lings are dying, and as soon as they go down, next are going to be those Hydras.
Or are they?
Oh, that's the question again.
The army of Harstem is starting to get thinned out a little bit. He spent a little bit of time teching up here, and now he's building a Void Ray because he needs to produce something. Yeah, there might be a little bit of a window here for MeomaikA.
Maybe. A lot of the Lings are being shaved off, though. The second overcharge does run out, and now MeomaikA has entry into the natural base. The Cybercore is looking a little bit exposed as well, but charge also being worked in defensively. The Lings, they do get in!
And they're starting to clear out a couple of workers, but that is nowhere near going to be enough here.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like if MeomaikA went for, went for the throat a little bit earlier on, then maybe he had a better chance. I mean, he's still kind of doing it somehow.
Yeah, he's kind of doing it, getting on top of a lot of these Stalkers. Pylons are going down. Void Ray does come out, but you know what? Hydras, they shoot up. They have both of their upgrades. But as Zealots warp in, MeomaikA, he has to be so careful. Again, if you notice, like, he's being very careful with his Hydras. He doesn't want to lose them, and he does take out the Cybercore.
You know, I gotta tell you, lad, I feel like over time, just because I've casted MeomaikA so often, I might have gotten a little bit cynical, you know? It's been a while since I was really wowed and, you know, in shock of what I was witnessing.
Yeah,
But I'm glad to see that in the international stage, MeomaikA does it again. He might still... There is still a possibility that he loses this game, but I can't believe what I'm watching right now.
This is the third overcharge.
It's kind of working.
This is the third.
Actually kind of working.
It's kind of working. The third overcharge is pop, which means MeomaikA has to respect it. He backs up. Blink is about to finish up as well. It does finish up just in time, but you know what? There aren't a lot of Blink Stalkers. The Cybercore was not rebuilt, and MeomaikA, he's pushing on forward.
He's taking out this army. Harstem is down to 2 warp gates.
Oh my god, Zealots are coming in, but is it going to be enough? MeomaikA, he's breaking on through. Overcharge is no longer available. The shield batteries are running out of energy. Yaku, he's doing it.
He is holding down that Z key. Like his life depends on it.
He's so close. He's so close to breaking Harstem right now. Oh my god, he is out now.
He's regrouping with his Lings.
He is regrouping with his Lings. He has to regroup. He has to be careful not to throw a little bit too much away. The longer this goes on, the better it is here for Harstem. Meanwhile, looks like MeomaikA just goes for the throw. He goes for the natural base.
My mouth is just completely agape right now. Like, he's even getting an infestation pit because
he is.
Why the hell not?
I don't even know what's that.
He doesn't like Banelings.
He does.
He does like fungals.
He does. Yo, this is what I'm worried about though. The charge are getting on top of these Hydras. +1 is done, and the Hydras are being cleaned up. The Lings, they have to get here.
Yeah, they were a little bit late, but in the end, MeomaikA
Let's go!
takes game number 1 with his trademark style that I was convinced, like, doesn't work anymore, especially against a player of the caliber, of the sheer, analytical mind of Harstem, who was able to scout this early on, but somehow, MeomaikA defies all forms of conventional wisdom.
Mate, okay, look, we have a story to tell right now. Okay, so, MeomaikA, he clapped some cheeks to qualify for Katowice, specifically Probe. He trounced all over Probe, and I remember, Probe went to social media. He was like, guys, what do I do against Hydra timings? And I'm pretty sure he specifically messaged Harstem. I'm pretty sure
Harstem,
he went straight to him, and Harstem was like, mate, all you gotta do once you scout it, throw down some shield batteries, get charged. Like, Harstem responded with the response, and he still loses. Oh my god.
We're gonna see a very special edition of Visit Imba, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Oh my god. Just letting them know that we are ready to go, and just like that, MeomaikA with his signature Hydra timing that allowed him to qualify for Valencia. Now he does it here, takes the first game of Harstem, but bearing in mind, chances are that that's not going to work 2 games in a row. Like, he can't rely on just that.
Yeah, exactly. Again, especially against a player like Harstem, who's going to be, very quickly able to kind of make these little, analyze these little details in his head. Just even as we're loading in, he'll, you got to imagine he'll be able to come up with a couple of ideas of, how to improve his response to something like that.
Yeah. Like, I would hope so, right? Again, the international scene isn't quite used to how MeomaikA plays, even though we are, even though the Oceanic region is. Like, we all know how he plays. We called the Hydra timing before the game even started. But these Europeans, I don't know, man.
Yeah, not that many of them. All I have to say is Raza, man. You should have been telling some of these people how he plays. Anyway, we are going to be loading into game number 2. It is going to be on Tropical Sacrifice. Fitting, really, because in the top right-hand corner map, spotting all the way in the top right-hand corner, we have the Tropical Representative from the Southeast Asia/Oceania region. The Red Zerg player representing the Juggernauts, he is MeomaikA.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice ESL, we have the Blue Protoss player himself representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Harstem.
I am so glad, I gotta tell you like that. I'm just so glad that MeomaikA is bringing it to, again, his first big not just his first big international event, but, his first... Again, it's a term that's not really used anymore, but across finals. Between the kind of regions going on.
It is really cool to see. And MeomaikA, he does send a drone across the map. He's looking for the proxy hatch. A probe is already here patrolling though for Harstem. He has wise to the tricks of MeomaikA, and in the end, the drone doesn't really do too much. Spawning pool gets thrown down instead, as well as a gas geyser. So MeomaikA comes in with a bit of a plan, but does get thwarted. Nicely done here by Harstem.
Yeah. This is Harstem telling, kind of signaling to MeomaikA, I'm prepared this time, man. Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm ready, mate. Is he? I don't...
yeah, that's, to be determined.
To be determined, mate. To be determined. Meanwhile, as the chat is catching up as well, we kind of glossed over it, but you did mention during the game itself that Harstem was in the middle of teching up while he was defending. I think he, as long as a lot of other people, thought that he had enough to defend, right? We saw how
I thought he had enough to defend, yeah.
We saw how many shield batteries there were at the third base. Like, he was heavily fortified. He was ready for anything. And because of that, he felt safe enough to, start taking up towards the Templar Archives, taking up towards High Templar, potentially Archons as well. He was thinking a little bit too far ahead instead of what was in front of him, that being MeomaikA.
Yeah. I guess it is kind of his biggest strength. Again, you mentioned that MeomaikA has a lot of awkward timings. Again, he's a very we talked about Piglet and how Piglet was pretty non-conventional.
Yeah.
MeomaikA takes it to another level here, really.
He does. And even though he is known for his Hydra timings, we have seen him play with with Spire Tech before in this matchup as well, with mixed results, to be fair. Oh my god, you were talking about it before, he isn't really one to make too many banelings. He's not known for his creep spread either. He has specific tendencies. I do wonder if Harstem has ever looked into him. That's the weird, like, there's no reason to if you're not in the region. That's kind of the problem.
That's what he thinks.
As once again,
you know, the sea levels are rising. I heard over in the Netherlands, that's like something that they built their infrastructure for.
True, the sea is rising, mate, and we'll see how far it can rise. We do see two adepts trying to shade on in, and it looks like they will commit to a shade here in the natural base. Gonna get a couple of these drones. What's important, though, is that they don't get into the main. I don't think the fast layer has been scattered yet.
Yeah, I have to wonder if Harstem maybe has a bit of an inkling of that happening once again. I guess, you know, that's what MeomaikA did in the previous game. But at the same time, you know, Harstem might be thinking how we're thinking, right? Of how, you know, MeomaikA, there's no way he does something similar 2 games in a row, right?
There's no way. We will see. Meanwhile, it's a Stargate opener once again. Things are looking pretty similar from game number 1 for Harstem. The first Oracle is already across the map. This time, the Spore is ready and waiting here at the natural base, in the main base as well. So this time, the mineral lines are going to be safe and sound. Links across the map. Oh, they are going to get an adept.
Oh. Almost slipped on in, but the probe was here in time. Oh, they got a kill, not a cancel.
Oh my god.
Thankfully there was an Oracle in position, however.
And this is what I was talking about. Again, Harstem didn't check the main base. He hasn't seen the fast layer, and this layer is not for a Hydra Den.
Oh no.
Mate, we have vision in the main. We have an Overlord in the main base. Nidus is on the way for the Lings with the Queens. Maybe just Lings.
Maybe just Lings, yeah. I highly doubt MeomaikA is just going to throw Nidus Worm down there, right? Actually, wait, does Harstem have high... He doesn't have high ground vision here.
Harstem kind of has vision here, kind of. He does see the Overlord in general, but the Lings are flooding on in. There goes the Nidus in the main base. There's a pylon in position, so Harstem is aware, but the Lings are distracting him for the time being.
Yeah, even though Harstem can see this coming, he doesn't have the supply to really split against this. He can't. You don't want to rely. You don't want to pull your probes against the Nidus Worm. Yeah,
exactly. Meanwhile, the Lings, they're gonna get us around here on these adepts. In total, how many gateways we have? We only have 2 gateways here to defend. Not much production otherwise, and the Queens, they're establishing a foothold here. Nothing coming out yet. We do need a rally. There we go. The Lings are now getting into the Nidus.
And the creep is slowly but surely getting spread. Again, with creep spread, it does mean that MeomaikA is going to be able to transfuse his Queens if need be. The Queens also provide a lot of anti-air against these Oracles.
Yeah, the creep is slowly being spread. Here we go. Finally, the Lings are coming in. This was a little bit delayed, and the Queens, they have to get on that creep to throw down those transfuses. At the same time, Lings tried to take down the third base, but Harstem was there ready and waiting.
Yeah, Harstem, he is getting ready. He doesn't want to, trickle in his units right now. He is waiting for MeomaikA to overextend. There is the first overcharge, but maybe popped a little bit prematurely.
Yeah, I think so.
Here.
I'm not too sure about that. Meanwhile, the Immortal gets surrounded. The Immortal is going to go down. We see a recall to try and keep it alive. It looks like it will not.
What?
It doesn't recall in time. It goes down.
MeomaikA, is he actually doing it right now?
The Lings are being cleaned up. The Oracles are helping out as well. And I don't know if the Queens have enough
energy.
Yeah, I don't know if the Queens have enough really firepower here to bust on through. We need a transfuse.
There is a transfuse there right at the end. And MeomaikA is getting a little thinned out, but I say that as more Lings come in.
More Lings are coming on in. They're getting another strand. We have another Nidus. More Queens are coming across the map as well. Probes are falling left and right. We only have 2 Stalkers remaining. We have another Warp in. The Oracle's going to try and dive in as well. There goes the second overcharge. It's going to buy Harstem a little bit more time.
Yeah, but at this point, a lot of I say a lot of workers have gone down, but MeomaikA hasn't been droning up at all. So this is acceptable casualties at the moment for Harstem, but he's getting pretty close to breaking.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just shocked that he didn't throw down more gateways. He still only has 2 gates. His production is so limited. He's trying to make another. Exactly. He's trying to make another one of those Immortals, but you know what? The Queens, they're struggling to waddle on through. They're having a really hard time actually trying to end this.
Yeah, the SimCity is working out really well right now in Harstem's favor. The Lings are trickling in, and they're being taken out one by one. Yeah. I was worried for Harstem trickling in his units, but MeomaikA is really kind of throwing away his Lings.
Yeah, these Queens are having a really hard time maneuvering around the base. Meanwhile, that Immortal is about to finish up, and Immortal is exactly what you want against these Queens.
Yeah, these queens, these Nidus worms as well, they are kind of the building buster right now. MeomaikA is starting to transition now, but honestly, he doesn't have a very strong, he doesn't have a really, stable economy.
Yeah, he really doesn't. Like, again, this was an all-in. He's turning up behind this. MeomaikA just threw down the Spire.
Yeah.
Harstem,
he's holding, yeah.
He's holding. Is he though? I mean, we have a lot of transfuses. Well, these queens should not die. There's a third overcharge, by the way. That's how long this all-in has been going. Looks like MeomaikA is trying to get us around. He wants the Immortal so bad.
He does, and the ground forces are starting to run out of room to maneuver back to. But the queens, they just are a little bit too out of reach.
Yeah, exactly.
I still am having difficulty trying to call this. Like,
they depower
the advantage.
They depower everything in the main base. Harstem is supply block, by the way. He cannot produce anything right now.
And with that, MeomaikA has the advantage, but does he have enough of an advantage to break Harstem? The oracles have energy now. The Immortal has been alive for so long. How many kills does that Immortal have? 10?
10 kills, mate. That's a 10-kill Immortal. Lings are flooding on in. The shield batteries are out of energy, out of power right now. There are 2 shield batteries. That's the fourth overcharge.
And look at this creep spread in the main, actually.
Oh my god, the entire main is covered in Zerg. We have another Nidus on the low ground. It looks like MeomaikA has given up on the main. He has straight up given up. He's like, you know what? I'm not finding any more headroom here. There's just too many shield batteries. There's just too much going on. He's going to try and go down towards the third base. The Nidus does finish in time, but can we get transfused? No, we don't.
We cannot get transfused on top of that Nidus worm. That, I think, might have killed MeomaikA. These queens are now stranded. Oh, well, I say they're stranded, but...
Yeah, there's kind of 2 fronts here, but I feel like MeomaikA's losing both of them. The queens, they have to go back into the Nidus. This almost working for MeomaikA. He's not stopping, by the way. He's trying to get more Lings in here. We have +1 range on the way. We have Mutas coming out.
He is getting... I was going to say, he's halfway done to finishing up +1 range before he even begins building Mutalisk.
Yeah.
That's MeomaikA for you.
And as much as I love what he's doing here, I think MeomaikA has to give up on the main. Like, he's staying here. He wants Harstem to overreact. He's warping in more of these Zealots, by the way. Mutas. Can Mutas end the game? We don't have Blink. We only have 2 Stalkers.
There are only 2 Stalkers, but we do have a lot of shield batteries.
The Mutas are coming, mate. There was a bit of a misrally as well. The Queens are coming as well.
The Stargate is depowered. The Stargate, he cannot produce Phoenixes.
He can't produce Phoenixes right now. He doesn't have a lot of anti-air. The Mutas may just end the game. Do we even need the Mutas? The Lings are getting on top of these Immortals as well, popping the shield.
These Stalkers really have to work overtime, but I don't think they're going to be able to.
Oh my god, how many Mutas do we have? We have 6 Mutas. 6 Mutas. Is that going to be enough? The first Muta has to be a little bit careful. We do have energy for one of those shades. GG gets called!
Be enough because he has no anti-air. GG is called. MeomaikA takes out Harstem 2-0.